I want to say Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, call Elohim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem and Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for pushing this truth and those laboring under them. I'm not in GMS, but they're the only ones that have the correct doctrine. And Salaki, excuse me. And Barak the Yahweh Shai for those that are laboring with them and under them. Salaki, under the correct doctrine. Been thinking a lot of thoughts about reincarnation, so I pulled up a couple of scriptures. Here we go again. I messed up the first video by trying to have something playing in the background, and I tried to turn TikTok down, but it doesn't work like that. So I wasted an hour and a half I got an hour and a half of practice, put it to you like that. Let me see, where is it? All right, so let's see. Daniel. Let me just put something on the screen. I don't even know. Let me see. The book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 35. The book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 35. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? Okay, so Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, does what he wants, does at his will in the army of heaven, which are the angels, and amongst the inhabitants of the earth, which are the sons of men, the sons of God, and the sons of the wicked. And none can stay his hand. So he has a right hand and he has a left hand. Or say unto him, what doest thou? Okay, the right hand is what you would call, good things. The left hand is what you would call, God damn, God can't be real, because why did this happen? Yes, well, God caused that to happen because he is in control of all things. So, when I was reading the book of Luke chapter 1, which is what inspired me to open my mouth. The book of Luke chapter 1, verse 1. For as much as many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things which are most surely believed among us. So what is the declaration? The declaration is the testimony. Okay, because of the disobedience of our fathers, we've lost our heritage. Okay, we've taken on the customs of the heathen. We became Gentiles. Okay, scattered throughout the other nations. And there's been a declaration that has been made. Our true identity and the law, statutes, and commandments given to our fathers. Verse 2, even as they delivered them unto us, which from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the word. It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first, to write unto thee in order, most excellent Theophilus. And I probably said that name wrong, Theophilus. But the declaration, testimony, was delivered unto them, and it was delivered unto us as well. from spirits that were here from the beginning, from spirits that were here from the beginning before the world was created, and from spirits that were, for example, Yahweh Shai himself, and from spirits that were with Yahweh Shai from the beginning of his ministry. Okay, verse 3, it seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first, to write unto thee in order, most excellent Theophilus, that thou mightest know the certainty of those things wherein thou hast been instructed. There was in the days of Herod, the kings of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abiah, and his wife was the daughter of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. So she was the daughter of Aaron. She was the seed of Aaron, which means she was a Levite. And Zacharias was a priest, which means he was the seed of Aaron. He was a Levite. And they were both righteous before Yahweh, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless. So Barak the Yahweh Shai for the commandment keepers in the 1900s for attempting and trying their best to keep the commandments and be righteous, which was impossible because we're severely under the curses in comparison to any other time throughout history. So, Salakia, I moved. But, see, verse 7, and they had no child because that Elizabeth was barren, and they both were now well stricken in years. And it came to pass that while he executed the priest office before Yahweh in the order of his course, according to the custom of the priest office, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of the Lord. Okay, so this priest, this Levite, had a specific lot. Okay, in this reincarnation of his life, was to burn incense on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias, verse 10, and the whole multitude of the people were praying without at the time of incense, and there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense. See, now I'm not saying everything I said the first time I did it. The first time I did it when boom. And the whole multitude of the people were praying without at the time of incense. So that made me, the first time I did it, it made me think of how people circle around the mosque and pray outside the mosque, or how people have like a prayer time to the confession booth, or whatever type of religion people want to use. They want to basically copy what we used to do. They want to copy what we used to do. The tribe of Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. The last ones to leave the land of Jerusalem. The last main tribes to leave the land of Jerusalem, because there was other tribes scattered throughout that state and the land as well. Besides the northern 10 tribes that got carried away and then eventually came into the new land, as it is written in the book of 2nd Esdras. So another thing I had thought of too when I had read verse 6 earlier, the first time I did the recording, was how the commandment keepers, one west stem from the commandment keepers. So reincarnation is very, very, very important. Let's continue. The book of Luke chapter 1, verse 9, verse 8. Let's start at 8. And it came to pass that while he executed the priest's office before Yahweh in the order of his course, according to the custom of the priest's office, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of the Lord. And the whole multitude of the people were praying without at the time of incense. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing. Little naked Edomite baby angel wings can't stand. I've never seen a little Edomite baby angel standing. But the scripture says this angel of the Lord was standing. So I don't know where they get these little naked pampered babies in Pampers, I don't know where to get these Huggy commercial angels from. But the book of Luke chapter 1, because Esau is a liar. Nothing he says about the Bible is true. The book of Luke chapter 1, verse 12, verse 11. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him, because he wasn't looking at no baby. But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. And thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Holy Ghost, even from his mother's womb. And many of the children of Yasha'Allah shall he turn to the Lord their God, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. And we are the disobedient, and the wisdom of the just is the prophets, these scriptures. Okay? Now, this is the reincarnation, one example of reincarnation in the Bible of the prophet Isaiah and the prophet John. Wait a minute. What does it say? Isaiah or Elijah? Elijah, power of Elias, Elijah, and John the Baptist. Like that didn't sound right. The book of Malachi, chapter 4, start at verse 1. Because this is the reincarnation. This is the reincarnation of Elijah the prophet. This is an example of reincarnation in the Bible. The birth of John the Baptist in the book of Luke chapter 1. Stopping at verse 17. Specifically explains Elijah the prophet being reincarnated. The book of Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. Now how is the day gonna burn like an oven? Through nuclear missiles. Okay, thermonuclear destruction, ICBM missiles, Russia, China, North Korea. Europe is probably going to throw a rock or a water balloon over here or something. There ain't going to be no water balloon. A balloon filled with gasoline for the ICBM missiles that's already on their way. You know, so it's definitely going to be it's going to get hot over here. It's going to get extremely hot in America. Extremely hot in Babylon the Great. The book of Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up. That's the nuclear missiles, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So all of your treasures that you stored up on earth is going to be gone. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. Okay, so people don't even consider that God has a name. And then some of them identify that name as Jesus. Okay, but there is no to those that fear the name Jesus or that fear the name God. Since you have to fear the name Yahweh. Yahweh. It means he is, he exists. Okay. But unto you that fear my name, you got to know the name, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. So all of these people that fear God or whatever God that they fear, there's no Son of Righteousness that's going to arise with healing on their wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked. So all of those that are fearing God, they're not going to tread down the wicked. Only ones that fear Yahweh. Oh no, don't fear when it's too late. Nah, it's too late. What's that? What was that name again? Yahweh. I'm scared now. Nah, it's too late. It's too late. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. And the day that I shall do this, said the Lord of hosts. So there's an expected day that hasn't happened yet. Okay? Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with the curse. Okay, so Elijah the prophet not only came back as John the Baptist, but had to come back again before the great and terrible day of the Lord, when ICBM missiles and nuclear destruction comes upon Babylon the Great, because this is the wickedly. This is the wicked. All ye that do wickedly, where's the most wicked place on earth? America. Oh, you don't think so? All right, well, the rest of the world disagrees. That's why everybody's saying death to and burning flags and all that stuff, man. You know? So that's another example of reincarnation. The fact that Elijah the prophet had to have come again before the great and dreadful day of the Lord to turn the hearts of the children to the fathers. Turn the hearts of the father to the children. Okay, so that was done before we were born. Okay, we're not waiting for Elijah the prophet to come all of a sudden somewhere, and all of a sudden he's going to turn the hearts of the father to the children. It's not happening. It's already happened. Okay, let me call this Psalms. That's why, Abba Bivens and King Mashai, Yaikwabin, these spirits cannot be ignored. As it is written, all planet, Apollo, water, the Most High gives the increase. You cannot ignore the work that Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai has done. And Yahweh Shai wasn't figured out in the beginning. But as it is written, no man could come to me unless the Father draws them in. So of course we ended up coming to Yahweh Shai. The Father drew great spirits before us in. Salakia. The book of Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying. So the Bible is saying that the rulers and the kings take counsel to set themselves against the Lord. That means they take counsel to set themselves against the Bible. So there's a war going on. Okay, as the pastor's talking about this, are they acting like the kings and the rulers have no control over with 501c3s or anything of such sort? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying. So if the pastor is the anointed in the church, then the Bible is just saying that the kings of the earth and the rulers are taking counsel together against your pastor in the church. How about that? How you feel about that, pastor in the church? Now you could say they're attacking you. Now you could say you don't feel too good. Because it's not you. You're working with them. Okay, they're going after the ones that believe in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's why Kanye's out of here. They didn't want him to figure it out. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed. They were scared that Kanye might be his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. And that's how they're feeling about the hopeful elect. That's how they're feeling about GMS. They want to tear GMS down some way, somehow. And I'm not in GMS. There's not enough time. But I will let them know anything about me. Well, from when I congregate with them or whatever. Whatever. But when I go to their camp, because I don't congregate with them, it's just a chance to go to their camp when I have the chance. And the police watching, they know. Watch every goddamn thing. I read another scripture that made me think that. Verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Okay, so the bands. What scripture was that? Proverbs. Salakia. I ain't even typing it right. Salakia. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 12. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Okay, so the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Okay, so even if one prevail against him, two shall withstand the kings of the earth and the rulers. Make me think of that scripture, woe to him that is alone. And the threefold cord is not quickly broken. Okay, so the threefold cord has been put together before my birth. Okay, this train can't be stopped. Okay, the train can't be stopped. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Okay, you can't figure out how to do it. There's too many pop-up fake camps going on out here. They're spreading some bugged out message too, but enough truth to lead everybody else to the truth. If it's the Willie Abba Shimon Shah and they just look, it's there. Okay, so, the Lord is, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah is laughing. Okay, because he has you in derision. Okay, I'm speaking of the elites. Verse 5, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Okay, and that's done by the prophets. The video's going up. It's going by the awakening, the little rant that Kanye did that got his ass up out of here. But it was enough to shake up the world because no Edomite either wants to talk about it or they just come straight out and say, man, fuck Kanye, he's crazy. But you got a reason why you're saying that, right? Like, yeah, you wasn't saying that when he was going to do anything with Kim K. Nah. What made you say fuck Kanye? What made you say he's crazy? And you still want to sleep with me? These Edomites are crazy. They're fucking crazy. It is what it is, man. The book of Psalms chapter 2. And that's just an example of how they'll still sleep with you, but don't want to talk to you about no goddamn Kanye. They'll still say hi to you and all that shit. They don't want to mention no Kanye. I still play the song anyway. The beat too hot. You gotta like it, bitch. The book of Psalms chapter 2, verse 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. And he's doing that by limb. Okay? Nature is vexing these kingdoms. Okay, he's doing it by the storms. He's vexing these kingdoms. The earthquakes, the famines, he's vexing these kingdoms. The uproars of the people, he's vexing these kingdoms. They don't want uproar. I mean, they're well equipped and prepared, but it's not what they want. They want compliance. Okay? Since they can't get compliance, they'll take the uproar to beat everybody in submission. How about that? Ain't nothing break somebody like a good old ass whipping. So how about that? The book of Psalms chapter 2 verse 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in a piece like a potter's vessel. And this psalm has been written. So you can't tell me that there's no Israelite that has not asked for this. Okay? So it won't be given until the reincarnation. Period. And that's why there was so many times when even Esdras, was like, yo, let's get it popping now. Matter of fact, I already wrote that scripture down. But then even Yahushua, he was like, the apostles was asking him, the disciples was asking him, like, is it now? Is the kingdom going to be restored now? Okay? So the inheritance was always seeked. Therefore, it had to have been asked for because it was told to ask for, and then eventually it was seeked. It's documentation of it being seeked in the New Testament. Okay, so it's a certain reincarnation, okay, that the heathen shall be given for an inheritance and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Okay, and that hasn't happened yet. This is reincarnation is when it's going to happen. As it reads, verse 10, Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. It's talking about Israelites. Be instructed, okay, because only the scriptures make you wise. Okay, wisdom coming from above. Okay, instruction are these scriptures. Scriptures are the instructions. The only ones who can receive the instructions are the Israelites. So verse 10, Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. As we are to be a kingdom of priests, we will be a nation of kings and priests, as is written in the book of Deuteronomy. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Okay, so kiss the Son, lest he be angry and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Now, trust is referring to Yahushua. Let's see what's next. It's like I'm just gonna type this one in. Oh, that was the chord. Salaki, I had just started writing and a bunch of stuff started coming to me. So the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Okay, and did we not just read in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying? Okay, so Satan gets permission to plague Job, plague him in the heart, murder his children, cause skin conditions, plague his body, plague his heart, plague his finances, plague his woman. This woman turned into a goddamn demon on him. So, it's like it. So the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Okay? And the bands, what makes the bands come together, as we read earlier, 2-chord and a 3-chord cannot be easily broken, is these scriptures. Okay, and because Satan has the authority of Yahweh, if he has it, to do as as Yahweh pleases to each individual servant of the Lord, and definitely to the other nations in the 2/3 of the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 8, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the wicked is the Esau Edom. Verse 9, even him, who? The wicked. Even him whose coming, who? The wicked, Esau Edom. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all powers and signs and lying wonders. Does not it seem as though the so-called white man has all power, has the signs and the lying wonders? Okay, so Esau Edom is coming after the working of Satan. Okay, and we just read in the book of Job that Satan was going to and from the earth, just as Esau Edom does. Okay, he's coming after the working of Satan with all powers, not all powers, all wicked powers, not righteous power, with all wicked powers and wicked signs and lying wonders. Okay, and as we read in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Okay, coming after the working of Satan. That's how the kings and the rulers do it. They come in the working of Satan. Let's go back to the book. The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay, so the kings and the rulers, they're not divided against themselves. You have kings that rule the rulers. Okay, you have your president, he's the ruler of America, but then you have governors that govern certain states. Okay, you even had this little McCarthy thing in whatever out DC, and Biden was like, yo, they got to get it together. He act like he's not the ruler over them getting it together. So the rulers, all of the rulers and the kings work together on behalf of under the working of Satan to make this hell on earth for the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to stop this truth from going out, to break that cord. Okay, they are confederate, in wickedness. They're unified in wickedness. Okay, they're Satan in the flesh. Let's go out Isaiah 40 and 17. Okay, all nations before him are as nothing, and are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Okay, we are the nation that matters to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so they're coming after the working of Satan under the authority of Yahweh to punish us, make our life hell, but not kill us. But that day is coming to where 2/3 will be cut off and die. The book of Matthew, 2/3 of the nation of my people will be cut off and die. And that goes for the blacks, the Latinos, Latinas, the Negroes, the Negras, the Native Americans, okay, the West Indians. All of those bywords that people call themselves. And to a bunch of different nations that are scattered abroad. Okay, so-called Africans, so-called Europeans, so-called Jewish people. Y'all are my people too. I don't know which one, but y'all are. So-called Iranians, so-called Afghanistans. Some of y'all are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 32. And before him, who is this? This is Yahweh Shai when he returns. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Okay? So, you only came for the sheep. Yahushua only came for the sheep. Okay? In the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Then certain of the scribes and of the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation. That's reincarnation. And shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas is here. The queen of the south shall rise up in judgment with this generation. That's reincarnation. And shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. Okay, so that made me think of the book of Ezra that I had wanted to pull. Because Yahushua is basically saying different generations are going to be together at the same time with the generation that I'm speaking to right now. And they're gonna say something is wrong with you. They're gonna look at you and say, yo, why won't you repent? Something is wrong with you. You're gonna get condemned. Second book of Ezra, chapter, this is it. 5, verse. No, that's crazy. This can't be it. Second Ezra 5. Oh, okay, I'm starting where I stopped. Okay, boom. I was about to start where I wrote to stop at. Scrabble on the paper. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Okay, that day is coming past, but it's going to happen again. Okay, in the famine of the word. Once the famine of the word hits, they're going to be taken in great number through the FEMA camps. They're going to be taken in great number through death, through captivity and death. Okay? They which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden, which is the knowledge of these scriptures. Kanye, with all of his money, couldn't get it. It was hidden from him by the will of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And he went on them damn Israelite shows, man. And they didn't publicly tell him the truth so that we all know that he knew the truth. What you gonna say? You told him in the secret, you don't know what happened? Nah, man, you suspect. Because everybody's a Judas, potential Judas. I hate to say it like that. But that's one of the blessings of me losing Junie when I was in the 3rd grade. He was in the 6th grade. That's one of the blessings. Is that I got to lose the one person that I could never trust. It's like the Yahushai's brothers, and then losing Yahushai, and then you got to go on with everybody else. You're like, wait a minute, man. There was already a Judas in the clique. Now I done lost my Yahushai. How the fuck can I trust anybody else? So y'all all could be fucking Judases, man. But we gonna see how this shit go and play it out. Because the spirit is on us when we on it, while it's on us. And when it's not, goddamn it, it's Judas any goddamn second for all I know. Shit is real. All right, the apostles went through it. So just picture it. And then you could even think of it as if, okay, you can't even say, okay, it was me, Yahushua, and our other brother. You can't even say that because you got 2 other brothers who wasn't in the fold. And y'all all grew up together. Picture it like we all grew up together. 2 other brothers not in the fold. What the brother you know you could count on because you know Yahweh Shem Shah dealing with him. He ain't never did you wrong. Everything was always good. He taught you everything. He gone now. But he's going to come back. He came. And it's crazy because Junie did come back. Junie came back. He was like, you thought I wasn't going to come back? I always knew. I always wondered what happened to you. I was going to come back. And it's the same thing with Yahweh Shai. He's going to come back for his brethren. So, what was I? The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. So it's going to be worse than the days of Noah. It's going to be worse than the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be worse than what Ezra was dealing with. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. Okay? So picture your home, picture your homeland looking good, and then everything's just destroyed in the future. Verse 4, but if the Most High grant thee to live, what? He's already alive. What are you talking about? Just reincarnation. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. And where's the speak of the trumpets blowing? The book of Revelation. Okay, this is a reincarnation verse. And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for, talking about Esau, Edom, that dwell upon the earth, and the fowls shall take their flight away together. And the Sodomitish sea, Sodom and Gomorrah, and the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish. It's going to get gay as hell out here, y'all. And make a noise in the night, which many have not known. We ain't never seen nothing like this before, y'all. But they shall all hear the voice thereof. Everybody see what the hell going on, y'all. It's all around the world now. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Now, is the wild beast of nature just any and everywhere now? They're not in the natural normal habitat anymore. They've changed their places. The birds have changed their places. I forgot they was even walking in circles and all that spooky stuff. Spooky. Verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, like with them animals walking in circles. And the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. So it's going to say a horny, fertile woman shall bring forth demons. Bad children. Bad children. Okay. So, Ezra, if he was granted to live, as is written in verse 4, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet a whole bunch of bullshit that you don't want to see. Pretty much. Who the hell wants to see all this gay stuff and confusion and wild beasts not where they supposed to be and menstruous women bringing forth monsters? Sounds like a goddamn nightmare. All right? Sounds like a nightmare. I think that's the verse I just read. Yeah, it sounds like the verse I just read. Feels like the verse I just read. Salakia. So I like flipping through the book earlier. But this time I'm going to do it through the phone. Goodness gracious. Yep. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. So all throughout the scriptures, there is a remembrance of reincarnation. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And what does it say in verse 1? He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently. So you have to pay attention. You have to measure the time for what's happening. Like you're expecting a baby to be born. You measure the months. Okay, you measure the contractions. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, the contractions starting. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay, so yeah, I didn't even know there was no protest in D.C. today. Who cares? Nah. So, yeah, you just type in protest and it's like protest in D.C. Protest, protest, protest. Say Brazil, France. Okay, Brazil protesters' artwork suffers damage beyond repair. Who cares about their artwork? Bolsonaro in hospital. 1,000 supporters detained after Brasilia riots. 1,000 supporters detained. Imagine how many got away. Brazilian government retakes buildings. See what I'm saying? Yesterday. Okay, it's uproars. It's uproars. That's just yesterday. Let's see what else is going on. Protest in Peru. 2 days ago, Peru protesters clashed with police in airport takeover attempt in Puno. I don't know if that got nothing to do with Chapo Wapo, but yeah, now that's Colombia. I don't know. That's Mexico. I don't know. Is it protest in Russia? What's going on? They better shut up over there. They ain't playing no game. Russia said, you better shut up. So, protest in Paris. Thousands marched in Paris to protest unresolved killings of Kurds. 2 days ago, December 23rd, police fired tear gas to quell protests. They've been protesting for too long. They ain't tired yet? God damn. I will get tired. Thousands protest in Germany. That's December, October. Angry winter, Germany, Monday night protest. 19 hours ago, thousands protest against mine expansion. 9 hours ago, activists in Western Germany protest. There's a lot of uproars going on. Man. Argentina, we ain't gonna look at we ain't gonna count every angry bird around the world. How about that? We're not. They're all about to die. Okay, goodness gracious, golly. Now I just noticed how many more scriptures I wrote. Sheesh. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Okay, so these are the signs. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So everybody is not sanctified for God, okay? Everybody's not supposed to make it. And everyone that shall be saved, not everyone is going to be saved, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able, not everyone is going to be able, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, because faith without works is dead, whereby ye have believed, you have to believe to have faith, shall be preserved from said perils. Believe in the testimony, not the testimony of Esau in America, the testimony of the person that's going against every single thing that America is teaching you. That might be the one telling the truth. It's crazy, man. Verse 9, then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, saying meaning ignoring the scriptures or perverting the scriptures for your own lustful desire. And they have cast them away despitefully, shall dwell in torments. You cast them away despitefully. You don't like what you hear in the doctrine about anything. And then you cast the whole thing away because something you don't like. You didn't like it. A man can have multiple wives. That don't mean he's gonna go out and do it. Look at your competition, women. I mean, you don't really have to work that hard to make a man say, you know what, one is enough. If a man is saying, not wanting, come on now. If a man don't want more than one woman, like, it's kind of suspect. But if a man is saying, look, I might need another woman, you gotta check what you not doing. To be honest with you. But the second Ezra chapter 9, verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits, government benefits, Edomite benefits, and have not known me. Whorish benefits, you just didn't care about the Lord because you was good. You good. Like, I ain't worried about that guy shit. Yeah, you gonna worry about it real soon. You're going to be crying out to the unknown God, as is written to in, I believe, the book Corinthians in the New Testament. Just Google to the unknown God, KJV, and that's going to be you if you don't pay attention to these scriptures. You're going to be crying out to somebody, and it won't be 911. Then shall they be in pitiful case which have now abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty. So this is two different classes of people. Okay, Kanye received benefits, and he didn't get to know Yahweh Shai or Yahweh. And then you have another people that have heard of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and that loathed the law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Okay, so that goes for the teacher and the student. That goes for the woman and the child. Okay. You know, this man done messed up, getting a chance to keep hitting that to tell you about the scriptures, and you buck. You don't understand that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai put on that man's spirit to say, you know what, let me try to save this girl instead of let me just slut her out. Don't you know it's nothing to just be an American man instead of trying to be an Israelite? Shit is just, it's a different walk, man. It's a different attempt. Okay. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet placed of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. So you're going to find out regardless, but you're going to die by pain. Verse 13, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. So the world was only created for the righteous. So what's that mean the unrighteous are going to do? They're going to have to serve the righteous. Does that make sense? The scripture says the world was created for the righteous, but there's these ungodly people that are going to be punished because they're unrighteous. And that goes for the other nations as well. 2/3 are going to come back through the seed of the righteous and be raised up properly in their right mind through the power of Willie Abashim Yahushua in the womb. As we read in the book of Luke, the Holy Spirit will be on the child from the womb. Okay. So I'm not gonna read it 22. I'll just stop at 22. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 22. Let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. And a lot of you women have gotten to taste the grape of the Lord. You've had the Lord's grape in your mouth. You've slept with the grape of the Lord. When I mean sleep with him, I mean you've laid next to him. You've laid next to the Lord's grape. Not grapes. He ain't gonna give you a whole bunch of grapes to lay next to. You get one grape, woman. You get one grape from the Lord. Don't mess it up. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 40. Then said he unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. And I said, Behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me, or we that be now, or they that shall come after us? And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment into a ring. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so is there no swiftness of the first. So everybody gets a perfect judgment. And when you're reincarnated, you get what you deserve. And hopefully in the end you receive mercy. Hopefully you've suffered enough and you can ask Lord for forgiveness. And then you can receive mercy. Or maybe you just suffer too bad and you just go die. I don't know. Or maybe you ain't suffer at all. I don't know what spirit the Lord put you in. But it's my belief and my hope that the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob could feel as though they've suffered enough and they would like to be changed. And I say be changed because that you have to be changed by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. You can't change yourself. And if you do, you're not changing yourself for the better. It's for the worse. I guarantee it. I bet money on that, and I don't like to gamble. So 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 43. So I answered and said, Couldest thou not make those that have been made and be now, and that are for to come at once, that thou mightest show thy judgment the sooner? And what did Yahushua say? He said, this generation, he said that the children of Nineveh would judge this generation, roughly paraphrasing. The Queen of Sheba would judge this generation, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so the Esdras is basically asking what Yahushua asking to happen, what Yahushua says is going to happen one day. So I answered and said, Couldest thou not make those that have been made and be now, and that are for to come at once, that thou mightest show thy judgment the sooner? Then answered he me and said, The creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. And I said, As thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou which gavest life to all hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and the creature bear it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said unto me, Ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, If thou bringest forth children, why does it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. And I said, She cannot but do it by distance of time. So if you think about how they say we're running out of food, if you think about the food process that we live in now, and even ancient food process of agriculture, how it takes to grow food to sustain and feed civilizations. Esdras is asking for something that was not set up for. It's not enough food already set up. It's not enough farmers that farm the food. It's not enough processing plants. It's not enough whatever you could think of to just feed everybody on the planet at one time. Esdras, we get it, but nah, it's not happening. It has to be brought up through measures of time. It has to be brought up through time. As it was told to Esdras. I ain't make this up or figure. I ain't no deep person figuring this out. I'm just saying what was said. So we've had different baby booms, and we've had even with the abortion rates and all of that. That was just mainly judgment for parents and stuff like that, for the spirit and child too. But you know, it's prophets that asked never to be born. Job asked never to be born. He asked to die in his womb, die in the womb. So you know, to some it's better to have never been born, as it is written. But verse 47, I said she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. Verse 48, then said he unto me, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in her times. Okay. So we're in that time. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged, even so have I disposed the world which I created. And I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? Now listen to this. And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Okay? So, now my mind's just running all over the place because, you know, they make our women not have children when we're young. They make them wait till they're old. So we're having children that are in weaker stature. But when slavery was going on, they had the women breeding early, having children early, about to be 15, 20 with who knows, at least 5, 7 kids. So they were breeding at the fertile prime time of the youth. Okay, where the children will be of greater stature. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, you won't notice just bearing 1, 2 children, getting 5 abortions. Say unto her, wherefore are unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? And she shall answer thee that they be born in the strength of the youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. And so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, show thy servant by whom thou visited thy creature. Now, Esdras is still asking about the future, about the time that we're living in now. And I'm going to stop, Lord willing. What I'm trying to say would make me stop is that even in the 60s, or we hear these myths about Paul Bunyan or whatever. I remember one time somebody told me that everybody in Alaska says that people in the States are weak. They say that people in the States could never survive what they could survive. They're not built. You know how the Ford says built Ford tough? They say we're not built to make it out of Alaska. They say we'll die. We're weak. They say even the women out there are strong. Now, when I went to Hawaii, a Ephraimite who doesn't know she's an Ephraimite, she knows her father's Puerto Rican and her grandfather's Puerto Rican, but she thinks she's Hawaiian. She could damn near build a shed outside by herself. Like, I sat back and she gathered wood and chopped all types of stuff down and had this little, like, switchblade that was like a baby saw. It was weird. But, you know, she put the burner together. She took it apart, put it together, put the gas thing in there. She was basically a goddamn mechanic. And I'm looking at her like, God damn it, girl, you're going to have to teach me all this stuff, but I ain't going to say it out loud. I'm just going to think it and watch you. So the whole point is this. We're weak compared to our forefathers. Okay? But thankfully not in spirit and in faith. Okay, not weak in faith. I'm not going to compare that to our forefathers. But in stature, according to the scriptures, we're weaker than our fathers on the plantation. Okay? And of course, they was broken down. So they were weaker than their fathers before slavery. Okay? And of course, the fathers before slavery were, we had our tribes, man. So we just got weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker in stature. And with us being weaker in stature, since the days of old, we're coming into times that's worse than ever before when we're weaker in stature. And that's judgment. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not to be messed with. That's judgment. And it's funny because we're stronger than all the other races. Like, they're mentally weak. They can never take what we've taken. So imagine how they're going to crack. Because they're weaker in stature too. Don't get it twisted. The whole earth is weaker in stature. Salakia, I didn't mean to rant. This just came to my head. Wow, the book of Psalms, chapter 24, verse 1, a psalm of David. The earth is the Lord's, belongs to Yahweh. It's his creation. And the fullness thereof. That's why you ain't gonna let you steal all the treasures, Esau. You just can't have it. You can't search it out. Because it's the Lord's. It's not yours. The world and they that dwell therein. Call Elohim Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Kakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone for pushing this truth. I know I may say things that, you know, I choose to put out there, and some things I may take back, some things I may not. I always clarify anything I say. I meant no disrespect by the daddy issue shit. Shit was just kind of throwing me off. I heard a lot of other comments as well. And I'm nobody, so don't ever get it twisted, but I heard a lot of other comments as well about things that had nothing to do with daddy. It had some other comments to do with other things. And I think us, that's why, you know, like I know I need to be changed no matter what, because no matter what, a song is gonna pop into my head. I'm gonna have a song. It could be Jacob's Trouble, all hell breaking loose, and then I'll probably think, I finally feel like somebody watching me. Like, I ain't no telling what's gonna pop in my head. You know what I mean? But to be changed, I don't want none of them shits in my head. Just straight scriptures, that'll work. Scriptures and women, how about that? Shalom. Oh, yeah. No disrespect to anybody. If I'm going to come for you, I know how to come for you. But if I'm going to speak my mind, I know how to speak my mind too, freely as well. It's as it is written, who can control the tongue? And I think about that a lot because my whole life, because of the choices I made, I choose to like watch my mouth. It was part of my survival to like do it instead of say it. You know what I'm saying? But if you saying it, it's because it's a warning and it's about to go down and you got no remorse because you said it out loud. So there's no need to be a remorse. It ain't like you surprised them. You said it and then you did it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, my whole life, I just been watching my mouth, guarding my tongue. But now it's like I don't got to guard it no more. There's no reason to guard it. It's the end. It's the truth. To hell with everybody, hell with these women, to hell with fame, everybody got to say truth is the truth. It is what it is. You don't like how your shit smell? Wipe your ass. How about that? Other than that, you fucking stink. All right? And even when you wipe your ass, God damn it, you got gas, God damn it. I smell it. It's like, shalom.